Oh, we're live. Oh.
Live.
All right, welcome back, guys. I'm Jacob, and I'm joined with Andy, one of our fantastic people who was emceeing VRC last week. How was that overall?
Well, thank you, Jacob. First off, fantastic job. I'm honored to be on the set. I see you decorated for me. That's nice. And I got an opportunity to meet quite a few teams in the LRT setting, the live remote tournament setting, which I know I'm talking to the live remote skill setting crew family, right? LRS dream.
LRS is the
dream.
great. It is the dream. The dream.
I feel sorry for those LRT. No, I'm just the LRT is such a unique opportunity that was created by the REC Foundation and VEX, and it brought people together from all over the world, and it also brought an MC. No matter where I was throughout this season, MCing other LRT events, not just VEX Worlds, I got to meet teams everywhere. So how cool was it? It was a lot of fun. I mean, it comes with its own set of issues. As you can tell right now, we're in an LRS issue. That's why we're chatting, right?
Yep.
I've been getting a chance to meet really cool students, head reffing the skills matches, but we with this downtime, it's good to get to chat with you, Jacob.
Yeah, very true.
It was fun. In answer to your question, I kind of circuitously say LRT, emceeing it all the way up to the division finals was a blast. We have the best volunteers in the entire world here in Greenville, Texas.
Very true.
Present company excluded, of course.
Oh, well, that's understandable.
Yeah, Jacob. I mean, we threw you a sympathy invite, and you took it. We were hoping.
I couldn't turn it down. It was too much great opportunity.
You know what I mean, right? Just by the way, I do work for the REC Foundation.
Yeah.
For now, until they see this.
Yeah, exactly.
Until they see me throw one of our key volunteers under the bus, and then it's going to be.
I don't know how you've lasted this long, honestly.
So do many of my coworkers. You're not the first. Corey's saying the same thing out from the back. How is your producer Kat calling us?
Honestly, she's been great. This is the first time you come in here and everything honestly goes wrong. So I don't know what's going on here.
So indicative of my whole professional career. Thank you.
No, of course.
Cherry on top, right here with Corey throwing some shade. All the way from, 20 feet away.
So, I have a question for you. How did you end up getting into robotics here?
Oh, is this robotics?
I think so.
I'm kidding. No, I got into robotics. It's actually a fascinating story. I'm a chemical engineer by degree, and I was in oil and gas for a long time. I also did a lot of youth group work, and so I found a passion with being around students and really, honestly, just stealing their energy. You feel young when you're working with the young. And so I got into teaching, and it was my third year or so of being a physics teacher, and a student walked up to me and said, Shafts. That's my last name, by the way. Usually when you introduce people, you kind of first name, last name, what their career is. So, hi, everybody. Let me introduce myself. I'm Andy Shafts. I'm a director at the REC Foundation, and I love what I do. But what started it? A guy named David Knar, fantastic guy. Wasn't the chattiest guys of all time, but he came up to me and said, Shafts, will you be our robotics coach? And I said, if you need to have zero background in robotics, then yes, sign me up. Because I was already the head soccer coach. I loved being around youth and spending extra time with them and just volunteering. And yeah, I took that on, and I have not looked back. Excuse me, that was 15 years ago or so. No, probably about 12 years ago. It was the one, this is where the community is going to haze me a bit. For those that know all of the games and have them memorized by heart, it was the one, and maybe you could help me out with it, Jacob. It's the VRC game that had the ladder, and it had the little rings, and you put the rings on the little
Roundup, I believe.
Roundup.
Yep.
So that was my very first year, and I started doing IQ 2 years after that because I was, let's just say, sometimes it's not what you know, but who you know. And my kids were going to go to a certain elementary school, so I started volunteering before they ended up at the school, maybe to help them make the team. And lo and behold, before they even had a chance, we moved to Greenville. So happy to have done it. Got a lot out of learning with the IQ students as well. So there we go. That's what happened.
I'm sure your students absolutely loved you.
Yes. Thank you, Jacob. That's the first time I ever heard that.
Yeah.
And usually that's not what I heard directly from them. But I'm sure it was just, no, we had a great time. I got to go to Worlds a lot of times as a coach and as an MC. and it was great. There's no better hospitality than the REC Foundation when it comes to not only how they treat the teams, but how they treat the volunteers and how they treat the coaches and the event partners that come to Worlds. Really, it was an Insta family. You could call it that.
Very true. Very true.
Insta family. Yep.
Yes. Yes. I mean,
How about you? How'd you get into robotics? If I'm allowed to interview the interviewer.
Of course. Why not? Why not?
While we have all this spruce
foliage,
around,
yes,
foliage.
yes.
Did you say foliage?
But listen, it's been a long day of casting these amazing LRS matches, I might add. I ended up getting sucked into Vex by a senior in high school who was doing a senior project and wanted to teach some middle schoolers how to do it. So I was actually part of the first ever Oregon middle school team.
So you were the middle schooler that the senior reached out.
Yes, got mentored to, yes.
Wow.
Our robot was... all right, it shook when it drove and pieces fell off, but everyone's got to start somewhere, you know?
It's like my first car that I bought. Yeah, when I was 16. So similar experience.
Exactly,
Yeah, okay, good.
exactly.
Well, and I think that's the amazing thing is that you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for a student in the community that reached out to you, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for an equally amazing student in the community that reached out to me.
Yeah, no, that is how the program grows.
In that, can you zoom in on Goosebumps because I've got them. I don't know if you have the heart to have them, Jacob, but I have them.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
yes.
I got chills. And they're multiplying.
Well, fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Andy, for coming in here.
I got the
your
hint.
time.
So I guess this is over now.
Yeah,
Jacob.
yeah.
I was having a good
sorry.
time. There's an end to all good things, though.
All good things must come to
All
an
the
end.
good things. Jacob, you are doing a fantastic job. I mean, granted, Corey's pretty much floating this whole thing. She's
100%.
She's the tide, and you're just the boat that you're riding on.
Exactly. She's pulling the plug whenever I'm about to mess up. So it's just fantastic over here.
Yeah, and again, keep up the great work. Teams, keep doing what you're doing. It's fantastic. Yesterday, an inspection. Today, in the driving and programming skills challenges. I am amazed. Jacob, I would probably warrant that they were doing better than you and I could if we had our own IQ team.
100%.
Yeah.
There have been some
Yeah.
insane robots that we've seen too.
I'm like, Riser,
Yeah.
what? I have to pick one of those up with a robot,
I-
and they're doing it without even flinching.
It looks.
so.
They make it look so easy.
I'm going to give one shout out to a team that I've been emceeing for years, and that's the Gators. So there's the Gator door. They'll know what I mean by that. It's years, and then one more for the Narwhals. So if you're watching Narwhals, I got you.
Full fantastic. Well, thank you again for coming on. Much
Hey,
appreciated.
thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
We will be back shortly with more robotics content.
I'm Drew Price, the Price